Okay, this recording is going to go over our online scheduler. So we are going to walk through this custom scheduler as if we are a patient to kind of show you how it works. Patients will be able to access this via your website. You can have it either link out to a different web page or it can be embedded on your site. We'll go through and we'll choose our provider as well as our type of exam. This exam type will be, it'll be integrating back with Revolution. So again, whatever you have set up in Revolution as your appointment slots will be available here, and you'll have full control over what is shown here. When I click on this, you'll see it'll load for just a second, and what it's doing is pushing into Revolution in real time to see what available appointment slots there are for the appointment type that I selected. So because this is our sample, you're just going to see a couple times available here. Let's say I want to be seen tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Now I'm going to go ahead and start entering my information. We always authenticate based on legal first name, last name, and date of birth. Reason being is that patients don't tend to forget that information year to year, but they definitely forget login information. Now, if I select no, I'm not an existing patient, it'll have me start filling out my demographic information. But if I select yes, it's going to pull my information from my Rev file. It says, wow, we found you. Let's go ahead and do a two-factor authentication. So it's going to text me a code. Let me see it here. I just texted to my cell phone saying your verification code is. Give me the 4-digit code, and then I can log in. What this is going to do is this is going to attach this appointment back to the correct patient file rather than creating a duplicate file here. Okay, so we can see that all this information is correct, and then I can move forward. Along this whole process, you can have required fields. So if I try and skip this, you'll see that it requires me to put something here. So I might say, eye pain or an annual exam, something like that. Okay, and then I can move forward. We can also customize this section to include the insurances that you accept, but no others. So this is really great, especially for new patients to kind of gather whether or not their insurance is likely to be accepted. So if you work with Blue Cross Blue Shield, you can have that here. If you don't work with them, we won't include it in the dropdown. Okay. You can also gather as much or as little information on this as you want during the scheduling process. Some people prefer to just have some preliminary information here. Some want the full information. Some just want to know what kind of insurance people have. So it's completely up to you. We will customize it according to your needs. And then the same deal for vision insurance. Okay, you can let us know who you work with. We will include it in the dropdown, and we can edit this text up here as much as you like, whatever works best for your particular office. If you need to have people sign something right away, this HIPAA form is a really great example. You can have them sign it during this booking process. I should mention this whole process we've been going through is optimized for any sort of device. So I'm obviously on a desktop here, but it would look good on mobile, tablet, whatever else you might need. I signed with my mouse here. You can sign it with your finger if you were on a touch screen as well. Okay. And then I'm going to get down here to the last step. And this is just going to have me review and submit. So I look through, yes, that's me. Yes, that's what I want to be seen for. That's the correct time. And then I'm going to hit submit. And when I hit submit, a bunch of different things are going to happen. Okay, you're going to see it's going to load for just a second. And what it's doing is it's pushing back into Revolution EHR. And it is confirming that that time is still available, because you're always going to have people that are calling in, or perhaps maybe they're standing in the office making a follow-up appointment. There's a chance that someone in your office might have booked that time while the person online is trying to book it as well. If that's the case, it will kick this person online back to the beginning to check and find a new time. Once they select a new time, it will kick them right back to the end so they can just confirm and submit. They don't have to re-enter all their information. This will, help you avoid things like double bookings, anything like that. Your office will also be alerted of this new appointment being scheduled by email. You can set it up to send a little alert to your email of your choosing, as well as we have a notification widget. Let me drag it down so you can see it as it loads. So this is going to give you just a real-time update. So you see that's from not even a minute ago, and mine says requested an appointment, but normally it would say booked. And it'll give you the insurance information as well as everything that was included in that booking process here. So you'll be alerted in a couple different ways, as well as it going directly into Revolution. On the patient side, they will get a confirmation email or text saying, hey, thanks for making your appointment. We will go ahead and, include different links in there, such as adding it directly to their calendar. You can add a link to change or book the other appointment, as well as you can have a link to their patient forms, which is really great. To show you what it looks like in Revolution, we're going to go ahead and log into our sample Revolution account here. We'll go to our schedule and go to tomorrow. Scroll up, and there's my appointment. Okay, so it automatically books in there. It takes that appointment slot. And all the details about the booking will be available here under the notes section. Okay. So some of this information will go directly to the patient chart. I'll show you these. So demographic information will go directly into the correct fields in the chart, but some of the other things unfortunately cannot. Revolution does not allow vendors like us to automatically upload insurance information or health history, and I'll go through that in the patient forms. So just a heads up that that does not integrate directly into the chart, but we have a couple different ways for you to go about, viewing that information and being able to copy and paste it over. Okay. All right, so we'll move right along into our patient forms. Again, you'll be able to have access to this via a web link. You can have it on iPads in the office. You can send it out via QR code, whatever works best for you. But regardless, we will have the patient go ahead and log in, again, via legal first name, last name, and date of birth. We'll log in, and same deal. It's going to say, "Oh, we found you, and we need to give you a two-factor authentication." So I'm going to send myself a code, and it just texted to my cell phone all right, and then I can hit confirm, and it'll log me in. Now, because I've done demos before, mine is going to show, green check marks over here on this right-hand side, but normally it is a orange exclamation point to show that they haven't completed each of these sections. We try and make this process extremely intuitive for both staff and for patient. So how it works on your end is you just send us a copy of your current intake forms, whatever they may look like, and then we build them out to be interactive online. We could have different forms for different types of appointments. So if you have something different for maybe a new patient versus an existing, maybe diabetic or pediatric forms, we're happy to accommodate that as well. So quickly running through here, this will again pull from Revolution. It'll come in here and it will preload my information so I don't have to re-enter it. So things such as my email and my address. If you need to copy, or if you need a copy rather of something that would be a photo, such as a driver's license or an insurance card, I'll show you that here in the next step, you can have people choose files to upload. If they were on a mobile device, it would be able to give them the option to say, go ahead and just automatically, take a picture or upload. But since I'm on a PC, it's just giving me the option to upload. This is not my driver's license, that's a picture of our founder, but just to illustrate that we can capture photos throughout this process. Going through here, you're going to see it loaded for just a second, and what it was doing was auto-populating the fact that I have previously indicated I don't have insurance. I indicated that during the booking process, so it's going to preload that no, I have no medical insurance option, but if I change my mind or I find my card or whatever it is, I'll be able to do that here, and then I can enter all this information as needed. Okay? And then the same deal for vision insurance on this next step. And we can change these fields to whatever you might need. We can change the language up here. We want it to fit your existing workflow as best we can. Here is an example of how you can capture some of this health history. Again, this unfortunately does not push directly back into their chart into the correct fields, but it will be attached back to their chart regardless. So a couple different ways you can capture the information. We got text boxes here. We have little check boxes. If we scroll down, we have yes and no's. We also have little drop downs. So whatever works best and kind of fits in with your existing workflow, we are happy to build out for you. In addition, this is another great place to have people sign some forms. So if you have a privacy policy, maybe you have a missed appointment policy, cancellation notice, whatever it might be, you can have them sign here. This is pulling in my signature from before, but I could, of course, always re-sign if I needed to. In addition, if you need to have people opt in for certain things, such as Optomap, or maybe you need to have them upload a picture of their current contact lens box or of their current prescription, we can include that here as well. Okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and hit done, and it's going to load for just a second. And what it's doing is it is uploading back into Revolution, attaching back to the patient chart, and it's going to prompt me to log out here. So I'm going to, of course, log out. That helps keep everything secure. And I'm going to move back over to Revolution. So again, we have demographic information that will automatically update into these fields here, but everything else is going to be down here under Documents and Images on the left-hand side. You will see a little folder called EyeAppoint Patient Forms that is created, and it will automatically upload. So you can see based on the date and time, that was just 1 minute ago that I uploaded these. Here's a copy of my quote-unquote driver's license that I uploaded, as well as my full patient forms. From here, you can print, you can download, you can do whatever you need to do, but just keep in mind that we always store information back in Revolution rather than keeping it in our own system. We'll scroll down, and there's my signature at the bottom. We also have a really cool tool on our back end. This is our back end office that I'm logging into here. I'm going to go ahead and log in, and it'll give you kind of a cool tool to be able to see what's going on with those patient forms. So you'll have a dashboard in here. It'll show you, today's appointments. Again, this is our sample scheduler, so it's just showing me for today. I also have that one book tomorrow that I showed you during this. And we'll go down here to appointment requests, and it'll show you the full week's appointments. Obviously, in a regular practice, it would show you much more than just the 3 that are booked here. But this will just kind of illustrate. It'll pull some of this information, again, pulling from Rev, show you the basic appointment time, appointment reason. But then we have this little tool called Form Complete. This is really cool because it is giving you a real-time status of where people are at on their forms. So because I completed my forms 100%, I did all 6 pages, it's going to show 100% complete. But if I had only done maybe 3 of the 6 pages, it would show 50%. If I didn't start them at all, it would go 0%. So this is really good for office staff to kind of get an overview of what's going on with the forms. If they need to prompt people to go ahead and fill out those forms, or know that they just need a couple extra minutes in office, regardless, this is a really helpful tool to be able to see this. In addition, I can click in here and open the patient chart. This is a really great way to view those same charts that got uploaded back into Revolution. So here's an example of that health history. So a lot of our clients will have this open up in one window and Rev in another, so they can just kind of copy over the information from here. Until Revolution allows us to integrate that, this will have to be the solution for now. We're hoping that eventually they will let us automatically populate those different fields. Okay. There are a number of other settings in the back end that will help you mess around with your scheduler and a few other things like that, such as you can change pictures for your providers, you can change the insurances that you accept, as well as you can have control of the appointment types that are available on the online scheduler. So you can see all of these are the ones that are pre-populating in Revolution, but we probably don't want to have a cataract post-op exam be available to book online, right? So we just choose these 2, and you can actually rewrite it to say something different on the website. So if you have an in-office code that may not make sense to your patients, go ahead and just put in a little separate phrase that will show up on the website so people can understand and book the correct appointment type. In addition, you'll have access to change all of your forms in the back end here. We are always happy to help you do that, but if you like to have some control and like to mess around with it yourself, we will train you on how to use these settings so that you can do that on your own time as well. With these 2 products, they are bundled together. When you buy the scheduler, you get the forms for free. So it's a really great value. Both of those things kind of work seamlessly in tandem. In addition, for tech support, you work directly with our developers. The developer who built this system will be your point of contact for any sort of bugs, customizations, any sort of updates you might need to make. In addition, we do unlimited trainings for you and your staff. So we, of course, will train you to do, to mess around with all these settings and how the system works right at the beginning. But if you need a refresher 6 months down the line, or maybe you hire some new staff and you'd like them to get trained as well, we are, of course, always happy to help you out there and do as many of those as you'd like, free of charge. All right, I think that is all the information here. Thanks for enduring this video, and we hope to talk to you soon.